We interrupt our normal programming here at EFRA.ws to bring you a special weather report here in the south of France. Now, overnight, a big band of rain has moved down the country and left the track very damp this morning. It dried up a little bit earlier on and the practice heats were started on the track behind us, but it's just started raining again. Now, the weather is nothing like as bad as it was last year in Austria, which forced a whole day's running to be cancelled in both the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive events. But following Austria last year, the EFRA AGM, they actually changed the rules relating to what happens if it rains and if the event is going to be weather affected. Let's go and talk to Section Chairman Paul Worsley about the impact of the rain at this event.
Last year, as you well know, we had some problems with a lot of rain which interrupted the schedule, which meant we could not run the full rounds of qualifying and finals as planned. There was no rules in place at the time that dictated what should take preference. This is now being corrected and the rules quite clearly state that if rain is going to impact on the total time length of the event, that you have the minimum rounds of control practice, you go for the minimum rounds of qualifying to have an event in the order that you can then run finals. So finals now take preference over additional qualifying rounds if the weather curtails the whole event.
It's raining today. Are you going to keep running in the rain, or is it going to depend on how bad the track gets?
The plan at the moment is to carry on running with the qualifying rounds 4 and 5. The track is damp, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the times in a big way. The track is not cutting up. The drivers can manage to drive the track. The marshals seem to be safe. At the moment, we're continuing, an hour late, I know, but we're continuing to run qualifying rounds 4 and 5. But of course, the rain could come more heavy and we may have to stop again. We've just had a meeting to put a maximum of a further 1 hour, making a total of 2 delay as a maximum. So it'll all depend on how much rain we get as to whether we lose a round or not.
And obviously the primary concern and the reason for possibly cancelling a round is not due to the cars on track, it's due to the safety of the marshals.
It's due to the safety and to do also unfair conditions for the drivers within the heats in the single round. It could be very unfair for some. So if it's not fair and if it's unsafe for marshals, then we will stop it.
So that's how the rules are impacted, but we're now here in the pits. We're going to talk to Paul Bradby, talking about how the rain's actually going to affect driving the cars on the track. Obviously it's going to get damp track. Is that going to make it slippery during the races?
To be honest, we just went out for a short practice and it wasn't quite as bad as what everyone expected. The carpet's a little slippy, understeers, but the majority of the track on the dirt is actually better in places.
So do you think if it keeps raining that's going to stay consistent, or do you think it might get a bit soggy if it keeps going?
I don't think more rain is going to be better, to be honest. And no one wants to run around in the rain, do they really?
And if you are forced to run around in the rain, or at least the damp conditions, are you going to have to make any adjustments to the car or do any waterproofing to it?
Maybe some waterproofing, but I think the cars felt good as they were, surprisingly, so I think we're alright. We'll just keep going as we are.
So stay tuned throughout the day as we bring you all the action from whatever qualifying we get in, and hopefully the main final as well. You see the empty grandstand behind us here. Hopefully that's going to be filled up later on. We're hoping to go on 3 legs of the A final. Stay tuned to EFRA.ws.